Hello and welcome BuckPole viewers. Tonight I'm going to get back to the basics of where my channel really started, and I'm going to be doing another deer bait. I did the mineral blocks about 2 or 3 years ago, and that's definitely one of my most popular videos. Tonight I'm going to be doing what I like to call big buck lollipops, and to take you through, this originally started as an instructable from Bootleg Outdoors. The other things you're going to need a mold of some sort. This is a basting pan that I got. It's a Jim Beam basting pan. I've already buttered the inside of it, and I put a little bit of my favorite mineral in there. I like infraction mineral. You can use whatever you want. I mean, if you make your own. Otherwise, if you don't, you can always throw a little salt on the outside too. I haven't shaken it around much. And then I have another 1 quart pan, so you don't have to go out and spend money to get a mold. The way that you are going to attach these is you're going to use a lag bolt. Put it right in front of my face. This is a 1/4 inch lag bolt, 3 inches long. I've already screwed it into the board so I can place it down into the mold, and I'm able to take the mold and have it harden up right away. Okay, we are back, and right now I have the water and the butter in the pan. I'm trying to warm the butter up and get it melted off inside the pan so that it mixes and incorporates more evenly when I start mixing the rest of the ingredients in. 2 things that I did forget to mention that you're going to need a wood spoon of some sort. You're also going to need a thermometer that is capable of going to at least 280 degrees. 280 degrees is the soft crack temperature for making hard candy, basically, and that is how you are going to make these into blocks that are going to become solid, and you're going to work with them. I don't have a candy thermometer, so I just snagged the thermometer from my turkey fryer. Okay, we're slowly starting to get a light boil, and when we get that, then I take the molasses and I add the molasses first. Molasses will thin out as it heats up, so molasses is a good thing to add to your water first because it'll help basically thin your mixture, because as it's warming up it will actually thin out and it's a lot less viscous as it warms up. I try to scrape as much as I can out, but I try not to go too overboard with it. Then from here you're going to want to start stirring this around to mix this together and incorporate this. I typically choose my mineral and my salt next, just because it's the thickest of the granular stuff that I have. So I want to try to give it a chance to actually dissolve into the mix. You can hear kind of the graininess possibly through the camera sound, and it'll get there and it'll thin out and it'll start to incorporate that. While I'm doing this, I'm slowly turning the temperature up to gain some heat. I try to kind of work up to the temperature instead of just trying to turn it right up to the highest setting and go to town. And the finest granular that we have in there is the actual sugar. So this is my last thing that I add to it. And as you can see, it's thickened up a little bit. The sugar definitely makes it a reasonable amount thicker. And if I have the time, While I'm working it up, I will try to get like the extra molasses that may be in my container in there. From here, I'm going to just give it a stop for a little bit. I'll bring you guys back when I have worked it up to the soft crack temperature. You don't want to sit around and wait the 15 or so minutes for it to actually happen. So, and you don't want to listen to the fan. So I will stop you guys, and I will just, through the magic of video editing, I will bring you back when you need to be. And I'm not fully to my temperature yet, but I wanted to bring you guys back in to show you an important part. Right now, this is starting to bubble up a little bit. I actually backed the heat off a little bit, because ultimately what you're doing is you're going to evaporate off all that water that you added in. As you evaporate off all that water, it does boil up quite a bit. Once you get all your water evaporated off, you will notice that it will drop down quite a bit in the pan, and then you'll really work your way up towards your final destination temperature. Okay, everybody, I am back, and through the magic of TV, we just got rid of about 15 minutes. You'll probably notice the sound of my fan kicking in because I have my vent fan on pretty hard. And we are at 275 right now, kind of in holding. I'm going to be killing this here in just a second. Okay, once we hit that 275, 280 mark, you can kill the heat. And what I do is I keep stirring because I don't want it to burn on the bottom of the pan, because you do have a lot of sugar in there, and when it burns, it's not good. So I just keep stirring. At this point, also remember, be super careful. You're cooking with stuff that's 275, 280 degrees, and you can seriously burn yourself. So the last thing I want is anybody trying this and getting hurt because they don't know what they're doing. But I keep stirring away, trying to let it cool slightly. And what I will do is I will remove it from the heat. Let me turn this for you a little bit and see if I can get you a little bit better view of it from there. Hopefully I don't burn it in the process of trying to help you guys out here. You'll notice that it'll start to set up a little bit, and it'll still continue to bubble. You're just going to want to keep going at it. I can feel a real little bit on the bottom that wants to kind of burn, so I'm just trying to keep working the edges. The last thing you really want to do after all that work and all that time you just put into this is have it burn on the bottom of the pan for you. From here, what I do is I try to let it cool. I put the thermometer in it, and I really want it to get down to about 180-ish, and basically make it so that it's very workable still. You want to be able to pour it before it gets too far done, but at the same time, you don't want to pour it too early, otherwise you end up having to wait around forever for it to cool. Okay, it is definitely starting to thicken, and before it makes itself home in my pan for good, I'm going to start pouring this in. You'll notice it almost looks like I'm pouring in like a cake or something into my mold. If it wasn't deer bait, I'd almost try it because that looks pretty good. Except it's probably a little hotter than I want to try right about now. Okay, now I got some of it poured. I'm going to take it, I'm going to try scraping what I can out of the pan. And I'll finish pouring. I'll take my little stick with my leg bolt in it. I will insert it into there.